Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
A woman that loves you wants to learn you. Like, it's nothing more that she wants in this world than to be on the same page with her man. But, you know, we as men, we got to teach that woman how to love us. You know, we got.
Hey, sometimes you never express your concern until your spouse express their concern. Hey, look, I feel some kind of way when I come home and, you know, this is not done and you said that you was going to do it. I feel some kind of way when you don't text me through the day. Hey, listen, sweetie, if you feel some kind of way when I don't text you through the day, why you ain't say nothing?
Hey. I know you're frustrated, okay? I know you're having these big feelings that you don't know what to do with. But if you don't shut the fuck up and put your shoes on, then I'm gonna start having big feelings and I might start screaming.
Why we not talk? Well, let's talk about it. We live. We live. Yeah.
The last 7 days have been totally insane, but we made it. Now buckle up and get ready for the most organic conversation on the internet with your hosts, the Force, the King, the Kamikaze, the Great and Terrible. Up to it, down to it. Pour a glass and talk some trash. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a good time tonight right along with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Let's go up to it.
Sir, let's get it, baby. You know how we do. We're going to have to flip this one around this way and switch this up a little bit because we're having some technical difficulties. Yeah. We had to switch this up. This thing is acting real funny. But we still here. Don't worry about it. I know you got kicked out earlier. We couldn't hear Kev earlier.
Okay.
You was good.
Yeah, I'm
Mine
back
was
in
acting
it.
up.
Back in it.
It said 3, 2, 1.
And Daddy Bear here. We got a special guest with us. Daddy Bear is in the building.
Is Doctor Strange? Is Doctor Strange controlling this? I fast forwarded 4 minutes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty wild how the app works. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. This is what happens when you live, and we are live. So
we live.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Assuming we can still call you that.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back to another episode of the most organic conversation on the internet. You never know what the fuck is gonna happen on any given episode. That's exactly how this goes. But welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to Up to It, Down to It. We are excited to be here with y'all in spite of some of the issues we're having. So we're warning you now for all of the technical difficulties we have. We're gonna be taking a shot every time. Okay, so y'all grab your drink, grab your shot glass, grab whatever you prefer, right? And get ready because I got a feeling we're gonna have quite a few technical difficulties tonight. That being said, though, let's get down with some of these intros, get some of the rules and ground rules for the evening, find out what we drinking on now, that good stuff. With that being said, Kev, right up there up top, right over here actually is where you see him. My man's Kev, what's up with you, bro? Talk to me. How you feeling?
Yo, it was good, everybody. Happy Friday. Hopefully your week has been wonderful. I'll take the blessings as they come. Just, you know, looking forward to a good weekend. Shout out to the Bruz, man. If y'all are in the Baltimore area, check out the Pi Eta chapter. We're having our annual cookout tomorrow, and it's going to be a time. It's something you don't want to miss. We got, you know, food, DJs. I'll be your host on the microphone. So we're going to have ourselves one hell of a time. All right, y'all pull up and celebrate with us. And why not start the celebrations right now? So every time we had to take them shots, because I'm certain we're going to with the way things have already gone. All right, it's gonna be good old fashioned Captain Morgan private stock. All right, but for the mixture, yeah, we're going the yak route. So I got the Martell. We're gonna mix that with the Coca Cola. Keep it a real simple night. We gonna do some dark things. I've been in the sun. I'm getting a little darker. I've been in the gym, getting a little strong. So why not take it up a notch? You know what I'm saying? One time for the one time. Olympic opening ceremony is in the background. It gets weirder every time I look up to check it. So whatever. Let's be weird tonight. Shoot for cancellation. Let's go for it.
Well,
We
one
live.
thing's for
We
damn
in the
sure.
building.
One thing's for damn sure. As weird as that damn France thing is, understand we ain't but one good election away from being just like them. Yeah, that's right. I said it. We shooting for cancellation. We one good Kamala Harris election from being France. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Holler at me in the comments. Down bottom. Down bottom, my LB. What's up, Rich? How you feeling, man? Talk to us,
What's
brother.
going on? What's going on, everybody? I am fine like wine and getting better with time, and I hope you are too. The word of the day is progress, man. We're gonna make some progress. Make sure that you're making some progress. We are making progress. I got some things in the works, man. That I'm uh, uh, excited about. Uh, a few butterflies here and there, but I mean those never go away, so you just work through it. But the word is progress, man. Make sure that you are focused in on achieving progress, like one step at a time, take it a step at a time. But we're gonna have a good time tonight. Tonight, I am sipping on a couple of things. I got a little bit of light rum over here. Okay, this is the Castillo Silver. It's Puerto Rican rum, and I got this from the uh, uh, one and only um, Total Wine in Laurel. Man, they got some deals. I jumped on that. So that's the light that I'm working with. But then I may have to jump to the dark again because this larceny right here is still hitting on everything. So I got a little light. I got a little dark. You know what? Tomorrow I might just bring them two by two, just like Noah's Ark. And you might hear that come up again in a song that the chapter has, but I'll save that for later tomorrow. So bring yourselves on out because it's gonna be a good time. Just like tonight, we're gonna have a good time. I got my little co-host here, Daddy Bear, and we ready. We're ready to get into it. So let's go.
You know what time it is, man. We about to have us a good time. We got light, we got dark, we got green. You know what I'm saying? We getting it in. We getting it in, man. So, hey, one more time, those of y'all, if y'all in the Baltimore area tomorrow, holla at us over at Gunpowder. That's Gunpowder, right? Gunpowder State Park.
Gunpowder Falls State Park.
Yeah, for sure. Holla at us over there, man. We're gonna be having a good time. Bring the cheer and all that good stuff. We're gonna turn up, man. We're gonna party with the bros because the bros are
And
in the building.
The building.
and yes,
Y'all
even
know what it is.
outside is the building.
The
Outside is
bros are in
absolutely in the
the
building.
pavilion.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one in the pavilion. I like that. That's very legit. We got a few things to get into today, guys. As y'all know, I'm sure as you know, we a lot of things have happened in the last week. A lot's going down in the last 7 days. We don't got time to get to all of it or get into all of it. But if there's any one thing, let's go around real fast. If there's any one thing that jumped out to you this week that you want to give a good 30-second blurb on, a kind of an elevator story, go for it. So I guess we'll start reverse order. Rich, we'll start with you, and then Kev, you can jump in on whatever might have happened this week.
Ah man. Sheesh. It's so much that happened. I don't even have anything specifically because I try not to dive too much in it. Like I said, I've been on a mission, so working on my progress and what I got going on. What is going on here? Sorry, a little in the ear here. But yeah, not nothing really that major that I want to bring up. So we can I've been working on me. That's what's going on. I've been working on
Word.
me.
Nah, and so give me one quick thing that you've been doing to work on you this week.
So you got to sharpen your skills, man. So that's what I've been working on, sharpening my skills. I mean, I did like what, uh, one certification that I got knocked out the way. Did some other testing and whatnot. To make sure that I can advance my oh that's I do that as me. To advance my skills to make sure it does. It's going down right here. To advance my skills. But that's all I've been doing. That's all I've been doing. Is working on those things. Get your certs, get your tested out the way. Of course that's the little one. He's stay trying to get on here. He already made me bring Daddy Bear on the show, so he's trying to be next. That's his way. He's like, well, Daddy Bear is on there. I can be on there. No, go to bed.
Listen, I'm fussing at mine too. So yeah,
Yep.
the
Man, listen. That's how we do it. One day we're gonna have a toddler takeover, toddler
Oh
takeover
man, we
episode.
need that. We
just
need
let them yell at each other for they can argue about Paw Patrol and
Yeah,
whatever. You know,
yeah.
get apple juice wasted.
That, babe, man, listen, that's gonna be a sight to behold right there.
Yeah, tomorrow. So I know they're gonna be cutting up tomorrow. No, they're gonna be cutting up tomorrow.
You know it. Jo, what's up, man? I see you, bro. Yeah, skill set advancement talk is definitely the move, man. That's absolutely what we got to do. I'm working on some certifications myself. I'll get to that later. Kev, what about you, man? What's been going on this week?
So I mean, whether I like it or not, and I don't, school is around the corner, so I did get a chance to start to dive into some of my repertoire for this upcoming year. So much in the same vein, just practicing, conducting, analyzing a lot of music. Trying to foreshadow what potential issues we can run into with my students, and starting to check back in with them. I don't know what's wrong with me. I done took some gigs for us even before school started, so it's time to get back into that vein. And all politics aside, because I know everyone will have their feels, but I was on the Black Men call for Kamala Harris, and I'll say, above everything else, it was just good to see a bunch of like positive Black men in a space. What we get in mainstream media and all of that is just a lot of like unnecessary violence and killing, and issues that are tearing our community apart. So it was just nice to be on a call and hear and see a lot of positivity, and just having Black men coming together for a common cause, that wasn't sex, drugs, and alcohol. Not that there's anything wrong with the alcohol, because
My bad. All right, I'm cutting up behind the scenes. That's my fault. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. That was
Hey,
me. That was me.
we gotta get like a behind the scenes type of
it's so bad.
we,
It's
gotta get a behind the scenes, like just an overall taping of what's happening
Bro,
behind the
because
scenes.
if y'all think the show is wild and organic, what happens pre-show and during the show that you can't see and hear is, it's another level. But you know, I just it's been a good week. Got in the gym a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good week. Turn up one time.
To further explain, when Kev whenever somebody goes full frame, there's a lot going on in the background that you can't hear. That is just hilarious. And we're trying not to break character.
Fine,
We're
real
just
hard.
trying to not
We're,
even character. We're just trying to hold it together and
we're
get
doing
through
a
what
terrible
we got to
job
say.
tonight. We are doing a
Oh
terrible job
man,
tonight. Mm.
This is definitely the most organic episode we've ever done. That's for sure.
it's hilarious.
We're
Oh
only
boy.
11 to 15 minutes in, depending on when you got glitched.
Right. Depending on when the glitch happened for you, is it not? Is it 9:15 in real life? It is 9:15. Okay.
We're in
All
the
right.
matrix.
But
We're in the
you
matrix.
know, you just never know nowadays, man. I feel like we got zapped into a different warp zone at some point. You know, and now we in like some parallel universe. We in like Earth 760 or something like that. All of a sudden, I don't know how that happened.
Shout out to Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to the Olympics, man. You know, for everybody watching the games. Again, from my taste personally, I think the processions were fucking weird. But you know, you know, whatever. You know, it's just not my cup of tea. This is my cup of tea. Okay. Well, what's in the mug? You never know, but this is my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, a lot of good stuff, man. All right, cool. Let's get into some of these topics, bro. Let's get right to it. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend to hop on because we want their input. We want their feedback. We want your input and your feedback. Let's
sure.
have a good conversation.
For
With that
sure.
being said, for sure. That being said, let's get to our viewer submission for the week and get some good reactions to that. Let's talk about it.
A woman that loves you wants to learn you. Like it's nothing more that she wants in this world than to be on the same page with her man. But you know, we as men, we gotta teach that woman how to love us. You know, we gotta teach that woman how we best resolve conflict. We gotta teach that woman how she can best be there for us, you know, when we're going through something emotionally or, you know, something at the job or something with the family or whatever the case may be. You know, all men, you know, we kind of have different process in terms of, you know, how we navigate situations like that. And it's on us to explain to our woman, you know, what would be the best course, you know, in terms of being there for us in those moments. But, you know, a lot of men are afraid to be vulnerable. So with that comes a lack of information. And with a lack of information comes miscommunication. And with miscommunication comes resentment. And it's a lot of men that have resentment for their woman for something that they never sat her down and taught her.
Okay. So we got he said a lot of things in that. Who wants to jump in on this one first? I think the next, hey, and I'm gonna warn y'all now, everybody. I'm warning y'all now. The next topic is probably going to be a trigger warning. All right, so just letting y'all know. All right, especially for those y'all in relationships where y'all be arguing all the time, it's probably going to be a trigger warning. Anyway,
Turn my headphones up.
back to this. Turn your headphones up. Go on, Kev. Tell us what it is, man.
So what I will say is he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But because he used the word teach, I'm gonna speak from a teacher's perspective. When we are basically, you know, taught how to be teachers, when we go through school, get educated on being a teacher, and even once you start teaching and you get like your materials to teach your content, everything is provided to you under perfect circumstances. So it doesn't account for all the things that can happen, will happen, or that you can't prepare for in order to teach that content. So when he speaks on this subject and says, you know, you got to teach a woman how to love you, and even when he went so far as to say, like, a lot of men are like scared to be vulnerable, like the question is, what led to those things? You know, and the reason why I feel so comfortable saying this, and again, nothing is ever all, but I will say this is a lot. Like, a lot of men don't want to be vulnerable simply because our vulnerabilities are used against us. They're weaponized to attack us. Like when there is conflict in the dynamic. So, you know, I like, if you have an issue with me, instead of you talking to me at the heart of the issue, you got to bring up, you know what I'm saying, something. Well, that's why you got a third ball. Why are you bringing that up? And at this particular point in time, like, that's, understand how, so, like, you know, it's just like it's a lot that leads to that point. And if we can stop doing the things that get us to that point, I think then it's a lot easier to like get into the role of teaching, you know, somebody how to love us. Because even with that, like, you're asking a person to do something that they may not be accustomed to. We've had this conversation about love languages before. My primary love language is physical touch, and like behind that it would be words of affirmation. If your primary love language is, quality time, or, like gifts and, acts of service, and you're trying to love me the way that you want to be loved, it's not going to hit if if you're not speaking to the, you know what I'm saying, the way that I want to be loved. So like if I'm trying to teach you, hey, I appreciate what you did, but it's not as, the only word I can think of is effective, but it's not hitting the way it would if you would blah 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 blah. If your partner is taking offense to that instead of trying to understand what you're saying, there's always going to be disconnect and there's always going to be discord. So like we can teach, we want to teach, we want to show, but like we don't want those things to be used against us. And we also don't want you to take offense that we're trying to give you the blueprint to make things better.
I got the crown in my head and it's cause I deserve it. Jump in, LB. That's King Talk, that's King Talk. What you know about that King Talk? What the hell? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. Can y'all hear that?
Anyway. Let's go. Yeah. See. I told y'all. Because the shit tripping. What?
We live. We live. I'm going to go ahead and take one for that.
We're going to die tonight.
So, clearly.
Oh, boy.
A woman wants to learn. I'm gonna jump in with a woman wants to learn us, right? And that would call for us, for men, right, to open up. And that's hard because of, right, those things that we share could be used against us in the court of law. Those things can be used against us. But also, I think I've said it before, sometimes being vulnerable is seen as being, can sometimes be seen as being weak, and so men don't want to be seen as weak, that i.e. we're not going to be vulnerable, we're not going to open up, because and to be honest, sometimes we got to learn how to be vulnerable, we got to learn how to let go and how to come out of warrior mode, because we're always, so guarded, not just against other men, but against women as well, or just against being out there in the world, and just always being on guard and not trying to appear as weak or even simping, right? Uh, so we have to learn how to let our guard down and be vulnerable. And he hit the nail on the head when he was talking about communication, and that miscommunication, can lead to those things. Can lead to the resentment and the the arguments, or just the that misunderstanding. Can lead to those down that spiral that leads to that anger, or arguments, or, like I said, resentment. So, I mean, it's going to take understanding, and then also just on the man's part, like being real, and learning how to be vulnerable. Like, hey, you know, she really wants to. If she really wants to, learn you, then guess what? You're gonna have to take a chance. You're gonna step out there. Um, but I guess, wouldn't a man, like, if a man is serious about you? So let's throw this scenario out there, because you want your man to be vulnerable. I think if it's the same way as if if a man is doing his part, and a woman feels protected. I think that the same token, a man has to feel safe enough to even be vulnerable, to let his guard down. He has to feel like he can do that.
Yeah. yeah. Go ahead, Kev. You want to jump in?
Oh no, I was just saying that's real.
Okay. Yeah. No. Y'all are Right on. One of the things about that I heard him say was that she wants to learn you, right? She wants to learn you. As y'all know, I say it all the time. Words mean things, right? It's one thing to learn somebody. It's another thing to want to learn somebody. It's not something to want to like really know the ins and outs of that person so that you can build them up, not so you can hold it against them later. And again, that is another big difference too. So Rich, you brought up a great point. If you want men, ladies, if you want men to be more vulnerable, you have to create a space where he can be, understanding that most men are probably not going to be, at least not automatically, right? Are not going to be vulnerable. It is going to take time. It takes time for us to trust you. And what I'm speaking from my personal experience. When y'all can let me know what y'all think, right? I think we kind of trust a little, then a little more, then a little more, then a little more, then a little more, until it's okay. I fully trust you, right? And it takes time to get there. And I'm talking about and I'm just talking about let alone things like I trust you with money. I trust you, in the house. Like, I mean, can I trust you with my feelings, right? Can I really, let you know about the trauma I went through as a kid, or I went through, the last relationship, or with my mom, with my dad, or whatever it was. Can I let you know about them things without, as soon as we get into an argument, as soon as we have a fight, you want to throw it back out, right? It's funny you mentioned the third ball. I actually knew a girl. I won't say any names, but a girl who was dating a dude, and we called him the Uniballer because apparently that nigga had one ball. Somehow made a baby with that one ball. That shows you how. That shows you how strong and potent the man's balls is, right? But anyway,
I mean,
or ball, or ball. I guess
billion, though.
maybe not balls.
A billion a day.
Hey, bro. Anyway, um, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they were in an argument and she were to say, I mean, first of all, the fact that I know this is bad enough, right? But if she were to say in an argument, yeah, that's why you only got one ball, or she say that's why, yeah, all right, uniballer, you know what I'm saying? And you say something like that, well then hell, shit. I mean, I probably if I'm that guy, I'm probably never trusting a woman again. They're also always gonna get boinked through boxers because no one else is gonna ever. Okay, all right, I'm just gonna take my shot now.
Ah,
Mm.
That's right. That's right. Anything but two.
At this point,
Anything but two.
at this point,
Anything but two.
but it's
But whatever it is, it even could be like, hey man, that's why you a mama's boy now, right? I'm trying to think of things that might actually hit home for real, for real. You know what I mean? Because all of us, most of us got it. Most of us have the galactic standard minimum of two balls.
the galactic standard.
Most of us have the galactic standard two balls.
we started from scratch.
Yeah. It was from those of us. Okay.
Ah.
Somebody jump in. Somebody jump in.
Are they organic?
Are they organic balls?
Are they
did
both
you,
organic?
Man,
Are they on the internet? Because if they're
two
organic
of the most organic balls on the internet.
on the internet, because if you don't
some of
put
them out there now are,
if you
Amazon delivered.
Oh no!
they're BBB,
Oh no!
they're not BBLs, they're BBBs.
Oh no! BBB.
We gotta do better.
Those shits are made of clay. Like they probably
We should have known.
clay and skin graft.
We should
Shit's
have
weird,
known
man.
having issues 2 minutes before the show that this was going to be. This is where we were going to be tonight. Like
No, this is it. This is the one. This is the one we're gonna get canceled on. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next one. And no shade if you have a number of balls that's not two. No shade if however many balls you have or were placed on you. I am not the one to judge. I'm not judging.
Well, if they were placed on you, that was a little judgment. But go to the next topic.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a little bit.
Does that
Out here.
increase or reduce the number of? All right.
Now, when you say placed on you, do you mean like on your forehead or like somebody had to like give you balls?
I mean, well, I mean somebody had to give you balls, but I can understand where the first thought came from. I also might judge you if you just let people just I might judge you a little bit, if you just
On your forehead.
on All right, anyway.
New Olympic
But
Games.
yes, I meant if someone had to surgically attach balls to you.
I want to make sure the audience is clear.
Yes.
How did we get here?
There it is. Every episode. There's a "How did we get here" moment.
They can't tell if we're saying college or colored.
Ah!
Yeah, that's what it is.
He probably said colored. I would have said colored.
He probably said collared.
Collard, like collard greens.
Like the green. That's that collard. I'm just saying it's what's the next topic?
A collared fraternity, a sorority. He probably said colored. He ain't wrong though. They are in fact a colored sorority. I'm just saying.
But to say it though is.
I mean, I know, but I'm just saying. You right. He probably in real life he probably said college. He probably said college.
Is it though? Because I mean, they do have members that aren't colored, or are we including all the colors?
But I don't expect him to be knowledgeable.
Right. And I mean, in D9 specifically, like, are they not Black Greeks? Like, literally, don't they? They're not Black Greek organizations. By definition, they'd be colored fraternities and sororities.
I think it's the tone more so than the term.
Okay.
But I'm with you.
I dig it. We're moving on before we get canceled again. Next topic.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you never express your concern until your spouse express their concern. Hey, look, I feel some kind of way when I come home and, this is not done and you said that you was going to do it. I feel some kind of way when you don't text me through the day. Hey, listen, sweetie, if you feel some kind of way when I don't text you through the day, why you ain't say nothing? I mean, because I ain't think about it until you said something this. And here's the thing, I let you, listen, why you coming to me with all this? I don't bring this stuff up in your face. I don't come to you. I just let this stuff slide when you do it. But when I do it, you want to bring this stuff up in my face. I don't say nothing to you about this, and that, but you got something to say to me. It's deflecting. And here's the thing. You don't say nothing to your spouse about certain things because you don't want them to say nothing to you about certain things. So that's why you don't say nothing. That's why you don't say nothing about your concerns and this right here, because you like, yeah, leave me alone. I got my stuff, leave me alone. I don't bother you, don't you bother me. I don't say nothing to you about not emptying the garbage. Don't say nothing to you because I ain't finna do this right here, so leave me alone.
For the future, because working for the present, we ain't making no progress.
I'm already triggered. I'm already triggered. Already. All right. Let's get into it. I feel you, Kev. I feel you, Wo. I feel it's yep, because it's probably going down. But before that, so get y'all drinks ready. Y'all know it's coming. All right. Reactions about deflection when you bring a concern to your spouse or significant other brings a concern to you. Who wants to jump in first?
So I think deflections do happen. They do happen for a multitude of reasons. Um, I'll say for me personally, we're like because of my because of what I saw from my parents, right? I didn't like drama or even arguments, right? Debates I can do. I can do debates all day, but I didn't like drama. I didn't like arguments. So um, if something was an issue and brought to me, more than likely, more than likely, and just answering honestly, I'd probably just be like, all right, or you're right, or just to dead it in order for me to like not have to deal with in that moment any escalation of it or what I thought might be escalation of it to really have a chance to sit back and think. So instead of saying, you know what, let me, this is hitting me a certain way. Let me get a chance to really understand and sit and think about this and let's circle back to it. Like instead of me communicating, like I would be like, mm-hmm, okay, and just try to dead it in that moment. But I think communication is key. Without it, all things will fail, right? So what I'm trying to do now, what I'm realizing now is I need to work on like communicating. Like I haven't, like I'm still dealing with that. Like I didn't like what I saw as a child, with my the way my parents handle things. So like, and I don't want it to get to that. Like I'll have a talk with you, debate all of that, and like that's just something that I gotta process and work through. But I gotta communicate that this concern that you have. You know, if it's something that I can handle in the moment. Of course, we're gonna talk about it. Because I don't think I definitely don't think I deflect because I just feel like that creates more drama or more of an argument. So I definitely don't think I deflect. My wife is on; she can let me know. But I definitely don't think that I deflect. Like if she has an issue and I'm like, well, you didn't, and you didn't. I don't think that I do that. Um, she can again. She's on here. She can comment, let us know we live. But I don't think that I do. But I think that she would agree that I do kind of like just shut it down in the moment if it's something that I'm not ready to like really talk about, and then but that creates, like I said, with the communication part of it. If I don't communicate that that's what it is, she gets upset because she's like, no, wait a minute, what you mean? Don't just agree. Don't just agree with me, or don't just shut it down. Like so it has to be that communication piece. Um, but yeah, I do feel like the deflection is like you don't want to feel. Nobody wants to feel attacked. I think nobody wants to feel attacked. So
Yeah, no, and I can
yeah.
I can get with you on the dead nip part. I am non-confrontational by nature. I think for me, like in conflict, when I dead it is when I feel like it ceases to be productive. So if I know the next thing that comes out of my mouth is only going to make it worse, that's when I immediately shut down. And because I'm so like I can feel it inside me, like I know exactly when to shut down. But when I shut down, I ain't talking about nothing. So like you don't even get a you right out of me. Like I'm literally like shutting all operations down and I stop speaking because I know that nothing good is coming out of my mouth. The deflection part though will make me punch everybody in their mouth, including the baby. Like I will punch a baby in the mouth for deflection because it like it literally drives me up the wall. If I'm bringing like a conflict to you, you had y'all are so unserious right now. If I bring a conflict to you, you had like 23 hours and 30 minutes of the day that you could have spoken on whatever the issue was. You chose to keep that inside. But now that I'm bringing something to you, like you want to then bring something to me. I'm not ignoring whatever issue you had because like you're valid in whatever issue you were taking, but you're like basically deflecting accountability because you don't want to deal with my gripe with you in the moment, or like you want to lessen the moment. Even if you're trying to like speak to me about what we're saying, you're still like cheapening my moment, bringing something else up. So like that's the part that I struggle with. Like deflection to me at this point is childish. Like it is how we argued, in high school and undergrad because nobody wanted to be accountable for anything. But like you got to own up to whatever you did, even if there are issues that you have in that moment. Let's deal with this issue because going back to our conversations about male, particularly male vulnerability, like it took a lot, and I would bank that y'all would feel the same way. If I'm bringing something to you, please understand that before I even brought it to you, I tried to play out every scenario in my head of how this could go. And like, at the end, like I really just wanted to eat it, but I was like, if I hold on to this, then it is going to fester inside of me, which is going to lead to my own resentment and you not even knowing what's wrong. So it like to like comprehend everything that I felt in that moment, get past it, and then be willing to bring it to you. Like that took everything in me to get to that point. So like don't deflect because it lacks the appreciation of how much it took for me to come to you with this issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Like I
yeah,
think the shutting down is also deflection. It's like you can't even just say you right. Like you need to communicate more than that. You need to expound upon that. It's you can't just say even if you mean like you right, like even if you just went through your head and processed everything, like she came with you with the concern, and like you just sat there and processed it and said, you know what, you're right. That's not enough. You need to communicate that. You need to have some dialogue back and forth and really talk it out so that she understands like your thought process and like what you how did you come to this. This is like math. You show your answer. Show show
I,
how you got to your answer.
I hate
Like
showing my work.
yeah. Show your
show
work.
your work. There it is.
Yeah, yeah,
In my
Show
mind,
your
I
work.
hate showing my
Because she wants to be there. She wants to learn you. She wants to learn that. Like and that's part of the vulnerability and letting her in um to you. So that's part of it. It's like you might have got the answer and said, you know what, you're right. No. Part of it is letting her in, show your work, like be vulnerable, let her know your thought process, what you were thinking, go through that dialogue and talk it out.
yeah, yeah, man. To kind of piggyback on what Diamond said, what up, Diamond? I see you. Deflection is a crazy defense mechanism, causes you to avoid responsibility and vulnerability as a form of control. So, one of the things that I'll say about deflection is that deflection is childish. All right, it's childish, straight up. Okay, as you brought up, Kev, it's something we did in high school, undergrad, whatever. But like at this big age, at our big ages, right? We should be better than that. Okay, I remember when my wife and I, when we first started dating, one of the things that I told her was that I wanted her to speak up. Right? I had come out of previous relationships where the people that I was talking to, the people that I was dealing with, um, would not speak up. They would shut down, and then 7 months later, a year and a half later, 7 years later, here they come back up with that same old bullshit because they never addressed it. They just let it build up, build up, build up, and now here we are talking about it again. I had dealt with that before, so I encouraged her like to speak up. So if I said something and I could kind of tell by y'all know how it is. You can tell. You look at your lady's face and you can tell she ain't like that,
Right.
right? I would say, say what's on your mind. And she said, no, 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 we're good. I'm like, no, 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 no. Say what's on your mind because it doesn't do you any good. And if you want to take a second to think about it, that's fine. Think about what you want to say, that's fine. But it doesn't do either one of us any good for you to just sit on it, right? So, like say what you got to say. And if I'm wrong, and this is the other part of this, if I'm wrong, I will own up to being wrong. I ain't never had no issue with that. Like if I'm wrong about something, oh, okay, all right, that's my bad. That's on me. I got no problem with that. Okay, um, but if I don't know I'm wrong, I can't do anything about it. If I
Right.
don't know what I did wrong, I can't do anything about it. I can't fix it. I can't, alleviate the problem. I can't make amends for what I did. Now you just sitting there mad at me, right, about something that I did however long ago, and you never told me that I even did it. I ain't even know you was mad at me about it. I ain't even know what it was. All I know is all of a sudden your body language and everything towards me, your energy towards me shifted. I noticed that, but I don't know why. And I'm sitting here thinking, what's going on? What did I do? The whole time it was something you did 2-3 months ago.
Which is insane.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Like how I'm supposed to do anything about that? You just sitting there letting it fester. You just sitting there holding on to it for all this crazy amount of time. So that just doesn't make sense to me. I always encourage my wife to speak up on that. And then with the deflection part, yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine because we ain't talking about that. Now, there is a difference between trying to understand the situation from your perspective. So you're saying, okay, so for example, when I do blah 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 blah, or when you do X, Y, and Z, you would, if it was in your position, you would want me to handle that this way, right?
That's fair.
That's different. That's trying to gain. That's trying to gain an understanding. That's not deflection, and that's not. And I think it should stop there. It's like I just want to make sure I understand that this is how you want me to handle this, or this is how you prefer to handle this type of a situation. Then that's a lot different from just saying, "Oh, well, but what about when you did blah blah blah?" That ain't the same thing. That ain't the same thing. So, in the end, as it sounds like you got to do two things for real, straight up. We have to do two things. You have to, especially if you're a believer, you have to be willing to listen and be willing to forgive, right? And also, if you've been broken, you probably should go talk to somebody. Which sounds to me like, if I put those together, it sounds like you need a little bit of God and therapy. All right, here we go. Let's try to have some breakthroughs this evening. Kev, you got two cards. Talk to us.
All right, so I always like to, if I've got conflicts in cards, I always want to start with the one that I feel like I can gain the most perspective from, and it's from talking to married men. So we've discussed a lot today about like the vulnerability of men, and how that can adversely affect the relationship, and there's not a place for that. But then you all have talked about basically owning your space and being willing to step up and like really share your thoughts and feelings. So I think a lot of that ties into love, because we know that love is not a feeling, it's an action. So this card says, how is your love maturing over time? So I am curious to get some perspective from you all as married men, because I imagine the way that you courted your partners, your wives doesn't look the same, when you got years into marriage. Like, I mean, you love them, but the love has to mature to view them in different ways. So how is your love maturing over time?
I'm gonna jump in and say, how's my love maturing over time? Um, because we've dedicated ourselves to continuously learning about each other. Um, we're not we're always looking for ways to be to to be like um, thoughtful about the things that we do. We're looking for ways to go deeper, to connect more. We're always talking about, like, I always bring it up, and we always bring it up to each other. Like, listen, you know, the kids that aren't always going to be here. It's going to be me and you. So we always circle back to making time for each other, and learning about each other along the way. Make sure that we remind each other that this is a journey. So I think that we're going we're going beyond the physical. We're going deeper into the mental, deeper into understanding each other, and continuously learning, continuously learning, and always reminding each other and understand, like checking in, um, checking in with each other. So we're going, we're way past the surface level, and we just want to continue to go deep, because that's definitely what I do. That's what we do. We want to continue to go, make sure that on our journey we're going down that path together, and we definitely continue to go deep. Mhm. Mm, yeah, deep.
Jess, please mute the microphone. If you
Ditto to going deep. Um, so deep it might hurt. Okay, anyway.
really
No,
do.
just kidding. To and I hate to. I don't want to repeat too much of what he said, but a lot of that is similar for me, and I'll expound, I guess, on the relationship going beyond the physical part of it. Um, as we say often on this show, undergrad was a wild time, right?
Very well.
Um, I met her while she was still in undergrad. Undergrad was a wild time. It was fun, right?
I was a
Um,
saint. I was a saint. Okay, all right.
You were an anomaly, is what you were. I
no one ever suspects the butterfly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Some fours, you can't trust them. You know, fours be like they be like the sniper in the hills. You don't know it's coming. Not nines, we like Godzilla. Like, you know when the fuck we about to show up, and you know exactly what we bringing to the table. You know exactly how we showing up. You know destruction is imminent
Eminent.
because Godzilla's on the way. That's how we show up. Fours be like snipers. You don't even know they coming, and then just poof. Yeah, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so going beyond that, if you know, you know, going beyond that, um, I we've learned to appreciate working with each other and kind of and embracing struggles and mental uh, blocks and spiritual blocks for that matter, and things of that nature. Um, I'm finding our conversations being about, um, the future, about legacy, about um, how we want, how we want our kids to experience the world. Like, we know we can't hide them from everything, obviously, but we, of course, want to give them a foundation. We're finding our conversations being about more important things, more solid things, and and less just look at hey, look at them cheeks, they about to get clapped. Don't get me wrong, you still look at them cheeks and they still get clapped, but better marriages undefiled. Hello, um, but but with that said though, um, it does go so much beyond that, and I'll say the maturity part is that I enjoy it. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would. I didn't think that would be something that I would look forward to daily. But I do. I look forward to, the spending the time, obviously, with my girls and getting to know them, letting them get to know me, talking with my wife about the future, talking about how we're gonna, come out of this hole or that hole. Remember where we came from, think we ain't where we want to be, but we damn sure ain't where we used to be, right? Like, just having those in-depth conversations, both of us kind of having conversations about turning more towards God, which I think is most important, right? God has to be at the forefront of all of this, otherwise your relationship probably won't mature much. Totally honest, that's just my opinion, right? um so got to stay in order. God, husband, wife, kids, like that's stewardship order. You got to stay in that. But I found myself enjoying that. And so now the physical is the icing on the cake as opposed to the cake,
True.
if that makes sense. So that's a big maturity thing for me. I'm trying to tell you something. I did not think, I was like, look, man, it's been 5 days. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, been 17 hours. What the shit is happening here? Right. But you know, but I find as much fulfillment in just being in my wife's presence as I do being in my wife. It's just a different kind of, you know,
Come on for the wordplay.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different. It's different. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
And then the icing on the cake is that much better.
For sure. For sure.
Icing absolutely makes the cake better. It's true. Whole world knows this.
Am I supposed to answer that, or do I just let y'all do y'all thing?
I mean, this your call, man. Jump in if you got something. Go for it. We
Um,
having breakthroughs tonight, baby.
right. Okay. Well, I guess since I'm the single person, I'll say that if I view love maturing over time, for me, it would probably be a thought process about like how I personally view love, as well as how I would love somebody differently or more maturely than I would have in the past. Um, so I would say, like, pulling the most from this, it would probably be about me. Um, when you, I guess, like the way that I've grown up, because we didn't have a lot. Like, I was still, I would say, in affluent places, because of course we grew up in PG County. PG was the most affluent black whatever. But like, it didn't mean we didn't have pockets of struggle. And I was in one of them pockets of struggle, but I was in affluent spaces. So everybody around me, had name brand everything, had gear, they got their learners at 15 and 9, got their license at 16 and 1, and had a car at 16 and 2. Like, you know what
I
I'm saying?
can't relate. I can't
All that
relate.
stuff waiting on them. As a result, when you're in the school setting, the dudes with the cars had the girls. The dudes with money, you know what I'm saying? The dudes who did drugs, sold drugs, the dudes who bootleg CDs and made their money that way. Like, everybody, you know what I'm saying, had something, and that like garnered a lot of attention for them, you know. So like my perspective was that a lot of love was material. Um, and I would say over time, like I've, for me as a presentation to my partner, appreciate much more the things that I was doing then, which look like a lot like they do now. You know, check in to make sure that you are okay. Like, did you eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you really feeling? This is a safe space to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that money can't buy, like I've always been that. So I would say like just knowing that that's been a part of me like all of this time, and where it was a point where I couldn't appreciate it because it didn't feel like enough. Like I know that it's like a bigger part of the bigger picture now. So that's probably the way that I've matured.
Nice, nice. That's real. That's real. You had was that both cards or you got another one?
No, no, no. We got a second.
Yeah, let's get down.
And
Do it.
this goes back to our first one, you know, which I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all early to go ahead and get the answer right so that our nights can end appropriately. um but when was the last time you felt safe to be vulnerable and trust another person?
Another person other than my wife.
No, 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 another person. That's why I said I'm gonna go ahead and warn y'all in advance to you know, get it right.
Um, uh,
So maybe I can alter the question because y'all
What,
because you're married
what,
to them. So I feel like that would be the answer. So like, at what point did you realize that you could be vulnerable and trust? Like, at what point in you all's process, courting, dating, you know, relationship? At what point did you feel like you could? It was safe to be vulnerable and trust them.
ooh, okay. Yeah, I like that one better because I was like, first of all, we've had this question before. Not to say that we can't answer it again, but I like the way that you've now phrased uh, the question. Um, because I was about to say, like, 5 minutes ago, because my wife is texting me now. But you know, so mm, we went through a lot in like our courting phase that made me realize that you know I could open up, and that she was the one, and all of that, and being vulnerable, being able to trust her. That's during the, like, to get the courting phase, the get to know you phase. Well, beyond the get to know you phase, but the courting phase, when we made it exclusive, and like just going through it, and really it was just I made the decision when I said, you know what, I I need to court her, is when, for me, I let down certain, if I'm being honest, because as I compartmentalize things. So certain vulnerabilities for certain compartments, you know, came down. Of course, there were still some that were up, but when I said this is the one that I want to court and move in that direction, because, and here's the thing, it's crazy because I was headed in a totally different direction. Most certainly was. I was definitely headed in a totally different direction, and I was. You hear me? Hey, streets, streets. You hear me, streets? I was ready. Okay, I was totally prepared. I was, listen, streets. Okay, I mean, I was already, like, had the wheel, the two wheels out. Listen, streets.
It was dipping.
Okay, okay, streets.
it was a different time. It was a
Streets.
different time.
Arr, streets. And then Jesse comes along, and I'm like, wait a minute here.
This was
And so I feel like, as we continue down that path, for me, can't speak for everybody, but for me, it was it. And to be honest, even now, it's still like as we go deeper and deeper, there's still like things that you wouldn't even think of that are barriers that just get broken down. And because you there's for me compartments, and it's been compartmentalized. So I'm like, you know, I knew that I had to court her, and I knew that I knew that she was, she was one. So I was like, yo, I I got to be vulnerable. I made the decision to be vulnerable in this stage. Like, crack it up. I knew I had to be vulnerable. It, and I'm gonna allow her to, you know, allow her in as she allowed me in, and we went deeper and deeper, and continue to go deeper and deeper.
This is hands down the most unserious episode we've ever had, yo. And I'm here for it. I love it.
That's my
Y'all
point.
let us know.
I
'Cause
made eye
look,
contact with Trey, and I at that point, like I was good, and then I looked up and I saw. Come on.
Oh man.
ah, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, short and sweet. Yeah, ditto to what he said. We okay, so my wife and I went through some some trials and tribulations, right? We actually talked about this maybe a week or so ago, and like I was telling her how there were many points where there was an off ramp, for her to be like escape, like to be like, okay, I'm not doing this, right? And it would have been totally justified. I wouldn't have been mad at her one bit. Hell, some of those off ramps I told her to take. I was like, look, man, don't don't get caught up in this, right? This is some bullshit going on. This is a bullshit vortex. I don't want you caught up in this. Um, and she stuck with it, and she hung in there with me, and she dug her feet in and grabbed my hand and said, let's do this together. And I said, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. And I said, all right, it's gonna get pretty shitty, and it did, and it got pretty shitty. You know what I'm saying? And pretty excremental. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, she hung in there, and I probably say there was a rock bottom point for me, and it was just in my personal life. Just things weren't shaking my way. Let's put it that way. Things weren't going my way. And I was over it straight up. And like I said, that was the point where I watched her, dig in. I told her to leave. I told her go, go, go. I'm not even gonna be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? And I watched her, dig in and say nope. I chose you. You chose me. We're in this together, and let's do this. And I right about that point was when I said, okay, yeah, I really can. Earlier, I said that we kind of men tend to little by little, throw little seeds of trust out, right? I trust you with this little bit of information, that little bit of information. Okay, now maybe this, maybe that, right? Um, I did that. I definitely did that. And when shit hit the fan and went all over the place, um, I watched how she handled it. And that's one of the reasons why I also recommend and suggest to people, to not rush the courting phase, right? Because, you still be in the honeymoon phase where everything is working right and everything's shaking your way and everything's going well. And you don't know how that person operates under pressure. You don't know how that person operates when shit gets real, right? And so I think that was anyway, I won't go too long. I don't want to keep this thing going, but yeah, that point where I was like, no, you should leave. right? Because it's not getting any better anytime soon. You should go, right? Um, this damn chair keeps sinking. I hate that shit. Need to get a new one, right? Hash brown, new chair for Trey.
So can you go?
Yeah, dead ass, man. I'm goddamn 6'4", man. Fucks my knees and my hips up. I'm 6'4" and I'm 40 now. Fuck my knees and my hips up. Anyway, anyway, but yeah, man, those are the points. Those little things like that, where I like I said, I watched her dig in where she could have took that off ramp and went on about her business. And like I said, frankly, I wouldn't even been mad. But that's what you want. You want somebody when we talk about a partner in crime, it's not just about, equal say so, because that's bullshit. I'm talking about a partner that I can really build with, that I can grow with, that can go through the growing pains with me, because that's the other thing. She was young, she was still growing. I was young, I was still growing. I'm still growing, right? So, we ain't always going to have it together. So we got to be able to grow and build together, and not just you waiting at the finish line for me to already have it together, and you can just live off of me having it together. Because that ain't no wife. That's a box you purchase off the shelf.
My wife helps me grow all the time.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut.
I had to get myself together real quick. Because what the hell?
There was no stopping it. As soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, yo,
Oh boy, this is one of those. This is one of those. All right, Kev, you got anything you want to add to
no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
For the record, though, Savannah does a mean impression of Rita Repulsa and make my monster grow.
If y'all could, where's that outro music?
Okay, all right. I'm done. Okay. I'm not doing no more. Okay, I promise. I'm lying. Might be one more, but I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum. All right, last one. I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie. Rapid fire.
Fucking kill y'all, man. Get fired on these bitches again.
Hey. I know you're frustrated, okay? I know you're having these big feelings that you don't know what to do with. But if you don't shut the fuck up and put your shoes on, then I'm gonna start having big feelings and I might start screaming, which is gonna make you have even bigger feelings. Isn't that scary? Yeah, so let's slip those Crocs on, okay?
That's some gentle parenting I can get down with.
Oh man.
And that's it. And that's why I keep saying, people feel like gentle parenting is, all sunshine and rainbows. No, it's recognition that I'm gonna have to kill you because of what you did, as opposed to just killing you for what you did, not explaining it.
Yeah. You're gonna know.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna know. You're gonna see it coming. I'm just letting you know what's about to happen if you continue to act this way.
Danger is imminent.
It's
Danger
SAT
is coming.
vocabulary ass whoopings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
As opposed to profane ass whoopings. Like those, I think that's really the difference. I'm going to use higher level critical skills to explain this belt to your backside.
Facts. You gonna know exactly why you're about to take this L.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the Matrix, right? You're holding out the blue or the red, but you've explained it in detail.
Yeah.
This is what's about to happen. Now you can choose.
You chose wrong. You chose violence, and here we are.
Violence is always the answer. It's my philosophy.
Always, always, always. Especially when the question is, and you fill in the blank. Y'all let me know what question it is in the comments. You let me know what question is where the answer is violence. I can think of quite a few, especially those asked by children. Okay, all right, that's it. That's it. We done. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for joining us. We, as always, y'all are the best part of everything we do here. We made it to another end of an episode, man. Shout out to that. Kev, talk to us, man. Take us out, brother.
This one was wild, and that's what she said. I just this is my like I done closed all the rings on my Apple Watch from laughing so hard. Yeah, man. One more time, we are the Piated chapter is out here in these streets. Catch us in Middle River tomorrow for the cookout. That's really where you want to be. Come party with the bros. I believe this is our 5th annual. I just know it's gonna be a time. If y'all seen the way we drank tonight, extrapolate that. You know what I'm saying? Multiply that by 1898, and that's how turned up we finna be tomorrow. So shout out to the bros. That's all I got.
Killing with the shoulder. Hey, we live tomorrow. It's about to be like bananas, crazy. Okay, make sure if you're in the area, come stop by. Hit whoever up. If you got my number, if you got Kev's, Trey's number, somebody's number, hit them up. Listen, come on through. Doesn't matter if you just found out today. Come on through. I talked about progression. But the other thing that hit me when we talk about progression, right? Progression, like the creation of things, like we always talk about, progressing and moving forward and this, that, and the third, creating new things. But make sure you stop and I think one of the issues is we don't stop and think like, should we, right? Should we? Like we talk about progression, but should we? And what does that look like? And start to ask the question of like, what does that look like? Should this thing be created, or should that, like also ask those questions along the way, like progressing yourself, great. But when it comes to like, moving on to the next job, moving on to a promotion, moving on, creating something new, you got to ask yourself the question, like, should you take that supervisory role, or should you become, should you, and what does that look like? And really don't do it just for the money, or don't do it just for the fame. Like, is that what you really want? Like, start to ask those questions along the way. So yeah, that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And yeah, man, if you're out in the area, come see us. But if not, other than that, tell a friend to tell a friend. Join us next time. Like, subscribe, share. We in the building, and we in the pavilion.
He ain't mean to rhyme, but he do it all the time. That's just how it goes out here, man. Hey, bars. Yeah, this definitely the most unruly, unserious episode we've ever had, and it was great. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun, had a good time. And we're gonna keep the trend going tomorrow. So again, yeah, if you're in the area, holla at us. We are going to have a funky good time tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. There's been a lot. One thing I can say for everybody, as I always say, the war for your mind, it's going on, man. It's happening right now. The war for, and it's really not even for your mind; it's for your kids' minds. I'm trying to tell y'all something. I'm trying to tell y'all something real good. All right. So guard your eye gate, guard your ear gate, guard your children's eye gate, guard your children's ear gate. Be very aware of what's going on. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. All right. But at the same time, don't let somebody tell you something you clearly saw with your own 2 eyes was a cheap fake. Don't fall for it. That's it. We out. We out of here, man. Thank y'all again. One more time. I'm absolutely about to get us canceled. I'm sorry. Thank y'all one more time. Y'all been fun. You've been fantastic.